welcome to a nice session of Q&As with me, Dianna Cowern. I run Physics Girl. My name is Dianna Cowern and I run the Physics Girl YouTube channel. I have been doing this YouTube thing for about 2-ish, 3, 4-ish, 2-ish years, but I've never done a question and answer session. So I asked you guys for some questions. I got a ton of really good ones and some not so good ones on Twitter and Facebook, and I'm gonna answer them here in my room. So YouTubing is kind of lonely. And so I decided I would drag my intern out to the beach and make her go talk to a bunch of random people and have them read the random questions that you guys gave, just to confuse everybody. Here's the first random question you submitted, read by a random person on the beach.
When you make a video, how do you decide if you are pitching it to the right level of assumed knowledge? Do you do storyboards or dry runs with others before you roll camera?
Thank you for the question and that fantastic dramatic reading. I don't know if I'm pitching it to the right level of assumed knowledge, and I think I don't hit the mark because a lot of comments are like, I wish you did videos that are on more complicated topics, and some are like, you totally lost me at 30 seconds in. I pitched to myself when I was in high school. I had taken some physics, I was super interested in it. I liked brain teasers, I liked learning about space, nerd. And so I talked to my high school self and I tried to explore things with her that she would have been interested in, that I would have been interested in.
What would the velocity of a flying rooster in space be on his way to get an education in Kauai?
Okay, the problem I have with this question is that there are no initial conditions set, but I can do a good rooster crow. I have roommates. Next question.
Is the universe infinitely large, or is there a boundary in space, or can we travel back to the starting point if we go far enough?
Great question. Two things. There is an observable universe, which is the spherical amount of universe that we can see. And the size of that observable universe depends on how much time the universe has been in existence, so how much time light has had to get to us. But at the same time as light from galaxies far, far away is traveling toward us, the universe is also expanding, which means that some of the light may never get to us. Is the total universe infinitely large? Like, my mind can't even think about that question. We can't get any information beyond our observable universe to see what's out there. Like, maybe there's a wall. Maybe like space itself keeps going and going and going, but all of the matter and energy and everything is like concentrated on like in one part of the universe. But everything that we see indicates that that's not the case, that everything is pretty homogeneous, that you've got clumps of matter and energy, and those are, for the most part, evenly spread throughout the observable universe, which suggests that outside of the observable universe, it continues on just as evenly spread and homogeneous. Which is crazy, because like, what if it just keeps going and there's still matter and energy like forever? I could just keep going, but I probably should stop. The coolest thing about physics is absolute zero. Technically true. I didn't get that that was a joke at first, but I like it.
A little bit off topic, but since you asked, are you single? And how do you feel about learning Spanish? If we get married, after years of dating, of course, being able to communicate with my mother is a priority.
Did you read that out loud before you sent it? Like, sometimes I'm not sure whether to think things are funny or just be really scared for the state of the internet.
How much behind the scenes help do you have?
Oh, so when I started doing this, I was writing, researching, filming. I would, every once in a while, have some friends or family or poor unsuspecting strangers. That never happened. Help me film. I recently, in this last year working with PBS and increasing the number of videos, I've hired a writer, Sophia Chen. She's amazing. She has a master's degree in physics and is a science writer and has been helping research and then writing full scripts for some videos. So she's awesome. I have an animator, Kyle Norby, super talented guy. He does all the beautiful animations. I've got an editor, Jabril Ashe, who also has his own YouTube channel called SefD Science. Good stuff. And I hired Ashley, my intern, who's also an undergrad in physics. So with all of these helpers, sometimes I do everything by myself, sometimes I have all of them helping on a video. It just depends. Next question.
Can you please explain magnetism through relativity?
No. But Minute Physics and Veritasium did a great video on this topic. You should check that out. What is one unknown or theoretical physics idea or hypothesis you wish you knew more or everything about? I wish I knew more or everything about everything. There are things that dazzle my mind. There are things that push me down that rabbit hole of thinking about what the universe could potentially be. And one of those things is multiple universes. What if other universes could pop into existence? We'd never be able to know, we'd never be able to communicate with them because they're a different universe. But you could maybe get evidence for these other universes. Like, what if black holes could contain other universes? Basically, any kind of speculative physics with really interesting sounding hypotheses. That's the stuff that I want to know more about. I want to know what black holes are. I want to know what's inside a black hole. Next question.
Can you please briefly explain supersymmetry?
Briefly is the only way I could explain supersymmetry, because I don't know anything. Next question. Hi, from Alfredo. What do you do besides being a YouTuber? Are you working on something related to STEM or non-STEM? I don't do, like, why do people assume that I have to be doing something else? At the moment, I am not working on anything else. I full-time do this. I make videos about physics with PBS. I could not handle anything else. And I know it seems like making a 4 to 6 minute video would be a quick endeavor, but I put research into this video. That's one thing about physics is when you're an undergrad, you learn the undergraduate curriculum. You don't learn fluid dynamics. There are lots of different topics that I'm super fascinated by, and I didn't learn about them when I got my degree, so I have to do a lot of research, or have Sophia come and help me do research. There's a lot that goes into this job, and I didn't think it would be as busy or crazy as it is, but I love every minute of it, and it stresses me out, but I love it, and it's really stressful. Next question.
What careers can someone with a physics degree get into, specifically involving outer space, if I can narrow it down?
Funnily enough, I made an entire video answering this question. It was the very first video I made. Short version, all different kinds of careers. I feel like the answer to this question is like way too broad to be useful. Or maybe you're just not good at answering it, Diana. If you know how to do physics, people will want to hire you in fields like math, engineering, computer science, biophysics. I'm sure the military would want you. I mean, look at me. I'm doing science communication. You can work in acoustics. That's so broad as well. Clearly, I can't handle this question.
Why physics and not mathematics?
Why physics and not cooking? Why physics and not train engineering? Why physics and not supermodel? I guess the question is asking why physics and not something that's actually pretty closely related to physics. Honest answer to this question, I took math up to linear algebra, which was after calculus, after multivariable calculus, after statistics, which I really liked. But then I got to linear algebra, and I kind of see how some people are like when they take calculus and they say, why am I ever gonna need this? I felt that way about linear algebra. And so I do have a little bit of sympathy for when people tell me like physics is just over my head, because I feel like that about math sometimes, and I wish I didn't. Physics was like math applied to the real world, answering questions that I've had since I was a kid, or like coming up with new questions. I was the most inquisitive kid I knew or my parents had ever expected to have birthed. So the fact that physics can make me have even more questions than I did, for me is really exciting because then it helps answer those questions. All right, our time is up here. Thank you for all the great questions and less thanks for the not so great questions. If you like this Q&A, if you like this style of video, let me know in the comments and I might just do more of them. And one last thing, I want to thank you guys. Like, I really want to express my gratitude and my thanks for watching my channel and for making this crazy dream that I had to do science videos into a reality. I made a science video podcast when I was a senior in high school, so that was 9-10 years ago. And it was back almost a decade ago that I wanted to start doing this. And it's because you guys have watched the videos and you've shared them and you've supported me and my channel. And I can't express how much that means to me. I'm not great with the sappy stuff. Thank you for sticking with me. I hope you continue to enjoy my content. I really appreciate the comments that are constructive and letting me know what you're interested in. And if my audio's crappy, I appreciate hearing that in a nice way. I do not need to be asking for more criticism. Bring it on. Thank you so much for watching and happy physicsing!